Absolutely.
Is there a specific region that's become maybe an early adopter or will be?
Yeah, Asia, China, Korea.
Does 5G come with more complications than 4G and 3G? Like, are there issues that we'll have to look into to keep it working?
Don't know from a environmental standpoint, probably not, because it's going in virtually the same areas instead of it being a 4G antenna or 3G antenna. It's going to be 5G with 5G equipment, my understanding. But in terms of how that affects the sensitivity or the risk tolerance, if you will, of those devices, that's a bit of information we need to learn yet.
So I think it's a great parking lot topic, but I'll give you sort of buzzwords on that. I think it's an important topic to put on the parking lot so everybody knows the context. So 5G has three sort of big aspects. From a little fuse perspective, probably no change. But from a high level, the difference is you will have more smaller radio units deployed. They're targeted in some new radio frequencies. So that means nothing for us, but for some, but it requires new physical equipment. And it's targeted towards IoT type of functionality.
Yeah, so like I said, it's not just, or it is about the speed from a user standpoint. So all of our devices, as they upgrade, it will enhance our expectation of what our devices are, right? So if you picked up a iPhone 4 today and tried to, extremely frustrating, and the thought is that in 2 to 3 years, the same would be true if you picked up a 4G device, having been used to the 5G system. But as Boris mentioned, the biggest aspect of this market space is being driven by more things being connected. So the IoT, really the backbone of that is that someplace has to be set up to actually store that information and deal with it, right? So what are you going to do with that information? There needs to be some sort of processing or change of action taken with that information and analytics. So big data kind of falls into this in terms of analytical data. We're seeing that with our CRM, or I guess not CRM, but our data analytics today. So that's going to be one of the biggest challenges is as you have more devices providing more information, it needs to be housed somewhere. And that's where the data center side comes in to be able to do that. And there are some things in that market space where things like what's called edge computing are term. So that's edge computing would be another one that I would want to at least have as a buzzword alongside 5G. It's basically taking that data center, which is very centralized and in a very large facility, and dispersing that out closer to the point of use. And what the theory is for edge computing is that you can handle that data and calculation or analytics of that data much more close to where it's being used and needs to be regurgitated back out, and save essentially all of that time of milliseconds, but it's important time that would take for that information to be sent back to one central location and sent out. So speaking to, the reason I mentioned that is it speaks to end user expectation and end user kind of needs and wants, and that's faster communication, it's faster analytics, it's uptime, meaning I can't deal with data interruption. So I need that information without interference, essentially. But to look at it, but to Boris's point, when you are changing frequencies, you have other noise aspects of wireless communication that will come into play. So EMI filters and things like that will be important. I don't know if it's within our wheelhouse yet, but that's one of the other things going on within this marketplace is the data center itself can come in many different varieties, and I'll just tell you about really two main ones, and that's one where it's a facility like the ones that we work with, where you are basically given a cage that you put your computer equipment in, and then you run your processes through that. To the point where you may have your own cage or your own server, but it's a co-located, you're running your own show. And have involvement, and that's what Ed Earl's team down on the third floor essentially manage. So there's that traditional side where a server is essentially serving one particular application. That's what its name comes from. There is the other one, which would be the hyperscale data center, and that's where it's like an Amazon or a Google or a Facebook that essentially builds their own data center. And the difference between those two, more than just kind of how you put the name on the outside, is being one's essentially a